Fast and Furious 11 is reportedly set to be released next year, but the lack of recent updates about the film is causing concern. It's no secret that the Fast and Furious franchise has gone through many ups and downs. For example, the early Fast and Furious films mainly focused on street racing, until the box office failure of Tokyo Drift pushed the franchise to shift more toward action. Since that major change, some of Vin Diesel's entries in the franchise have been well received, while others have been criticized by both audiences and critics. Fast 5 and Furious 7 are examples of films that were quite well regarded by critics and fans. However, Fast X 2023 arguably offered a more exciting viewing experience than both of those films. The upcoming Fast and Furious 11 is even more intriguing because it's supposed to be the final installment in the franchise. However, concerns are starting to emerge as there's been almost no new information about the movie. Most films in the Fast and Furious franchise end with their main stories more or less wrapped up. While they all leave room for sequels, the series could have ended at several different points. This is especially true for Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious, and F9. The 8th and 9th films, in particular, both ended with all the characters gathered at a barbecue party. However, that's not the case with Fast X, which is the only film in the series to end with a cliffhanger. Throughout Fast X, Dom and his crew face off against Dante, who seeks revenge for his father's death in Fast 5, and like the other films, where the main characters typically win, Dom and his team are actually defeated by Dante at the end of Fast X. Although Dom manages to escape the explosion at the dam at the end of the 10th film, he witnesses a plane carrying Roman, Tej, Ramsey, and Han crash. As a result, Dom is truly in despair by the film's conclusion. Even though Dom technically loses to Dante in Fast X, key characters like Luke Hobbs played by Dwayne Johnson and Giselle Yashar played by Gal Gadot return at the end of the film. Dante will go after both of these characters in Fast and Furious 11, but at least they could help Dom win in the franchise's final movie. Because of all these cliffhangers, Fast and Furious 11 is essential, and it's hoped that the film will tie up all the loose ends in a satisfying way.